let's do a versus.
Hello, basketball fans. You've got it on 2K Sports as we get set to bring you exciting NBA action. And on tap tonight, it's the Denver Nuggets going up against the Minnesota Timberwolves here at Target Center with Hall of Famers Grant Hill and Doris Burke. This is Brian Anderson. Joining us from the sidelines, Allie LaForce. A moment now to see how the schedule is looking for the Denver Nuggets. On Wednesday, they'll take on Zion Williamson and the New Orleans Pelicans. And then Friday, they'll be matching up with Damian Lillard and the Portland Trailblazers.
In that game against the Kings, that's going to be their 6th contest on the year. Fans will be curious to see how this team continues to form as the season goes on.
A look at the starting group here for Denver. In the backcourt, it'll be Murray and Brown, Gordon and Jokic, the inside combo, and it's Watson in at the 3. And for the Timberwolves, McDaniels at the 3 with Randall at the 4. DiVincenzo and Edwards are the backcourt, and it's Reed in at the 5 down low. Murray, no good. And here's Minnesota now, fresh off a win against the Pacers.
And you'd have to think that luck played a part in that one. I mean, the opponent had an off night at the defensive end for sure.
Well, give them some credit for taking advantage of a weak defense and capitalizing on every mistake.
And it's Jokic with the ball for Denver. This game against Minnesota is the first time they've met this year.
They expected more of themselves against this team last year. Split the games between them.
Got him in the air with the pump fake and then took advantage. And this early in the season, Doris, we're seeing some teams trying to find their way.
BA, very little set in stone at this point. Coaches are absolutely still tinkering with their rotations. You're trying to figure out which groups play well together. And then you also have the players, right? They're trying to drop off a little of the rust that accumulates over the offseason. Boy, that's 0 for 3 in the early going. Just a little out of sync.
Gordon with a screen on Reed. Jokic passes to Gordon and stolen by Edwards. Outside, DiVincenzo. Back to Edwards. Here's the teardrop, and no good. Great D that time from Brown. Pass to Jokic. About 2 minutes gone by in the first quarter, and he gets that one.
And Jokic has a number of moves to choose from, especially deep inside.
Now here's McDaniels. Edwards looking for an opening. Let's go with a 3 on target from range.
They needed that. Just 1 for 5 to start this ball game.
Some breakthrough contributions for the Nuggets from Christian Brown and Aaron Gordon. Grant elevating their games.
But at the same time, Denver's depth has been a concern. You know, BA, we know what Jokic can do, but he needs help to win another ring.
And the Timberwolves with possession here. Denver getting their last shot to go.
Well, you've got to be decisive in catch-and-shoot situations, and Julius Randle leaves no doubt.
And let's swing it over to the sideline and hear from Allie.
I caught up with Coach Chris Finch. He told me there's no real way to stop Nikola Jokic. He can score on anyone, and when you try to double him, he dissects you with his passing, which is arguably his most dangerous trait. Coach continued, you can pick your poison with Joker, but either way, you are getting poisoned. Back to you, Brian.
Great work, Allie. Thanks. Now here's Randall. He had an 18-point outing in their last game against Indiana. Reed can't hit. And it's Murray with the ball for Denver. Their last game, a win against the Suns. Looking to carry it into this one.
Yeah, they really worked hard to find shots in that one. Some good play calls and energy on the offensive end.
Well, give credit to a couple of their guys for their complete locked-in nature. They were just focused, and they made everything they looked at.
Just owning the painted area. If it's working, no need to change.
Randall outside. Lets it go from deep. Brown grabs the board. The Nuggets have gone 4 of 5 so far. Looking sharp. Oh, wasted no time on that one.
Defensively, the last thing you want is for Murray to get hot from beyond the arc.
Out to DiVincenzo. Good ball movement here by Minnesota. And here's Edwards outside. Pass to Randall. Up and over Gordon. Ooh, and once again, off the mark by Minnesota. Denver leading by 5. Now here's Jokic. Really played well against Phoenix in his last game. And he got the whistle on the way up, so he'll be headed to the line for a pair. It's on Dante DiVincenzo.
Yeah, with his size, Jokic is really hard to defend without fouling.
And Doris, the Wolves, the 6th seed last season, but by point differential, they were the 2nd best team in the West.
It didn't start out smoothly for an organization that made major changes. The massive difference in personnel with Julius and Dante changed how they were structured. But boy, with a young superstar in Anthony Edwards, they figured it out, and I think they're well positioned moving forward.
Dosunmu can't hit.
Boy, he had a clear look at it. Ooh, you hate to miss chippies like that.
Outside Watson for 3. That falls. Nice feed from Jokic. Jokic has got his 3rd assist of the night.
Their ball movement on this run has been tremendous. It's led to a lot of good, clean, open looks.
Now here's Highland. Dosunmu outside. Pass to Highland. Shot clock at 6. Over Murray. Minnesota again missing. Here's Jokic. And the dunk by Jokic.
They've been very effective so far. A balanced attack at its best.
On the offensive end, it feels like they're getting the shots they want, and defensively, they are connected and on a string.
Now here's Highland. Still without a bucket. Here's Gobert. Outside Highland. To stop the drought. Brown grabs the board. Jokic with it. He's got 10. Pass to Gordon. Jokic up top. And the dunk by Jokic.
And early on, they've been on a tear. Just getting whatever they want offensively.
Well, what I love is the game plan has been solid from the opening tip. And guys are making their shots. That's critical.
It's been all about Nikola Jokic for Denver. He made a big impact, scoring 12 points in the quarter. We'll be back in a moment. Great to have you with us. 2nd quarter of basketball. This game has not exactly been neck and neck, but plenty of time left in this one. Let's get a quick check of the scoring breakdown here for the Nuggets.
Well, you got to be impressed with how selfless they've been so far. Their passing has been simply outstanding.
Yeah, and their assertiveness in the paint so far tonight has been impactful. They're really making it hard for the interior defense.
Randall and Gobert are in the middle. Bones Highland out there with Dosunmu. And it's Shannon in at the 3, the small forward. That's the 5 to begin the 2nd quarter for the T-Wolves. Here's Gobert. Gobert using his size to his advantage.
You love the touch from Rudy Gobert. He's put a ton of work into his offensive game.
All right, Doris, let's talk for a moment about Rudy Gobert's defensive IQ.
Let's begin, B.A.
with his communication on that end. It's an undervalued aspect of defensive performance. Then you talk about his ability.
Oh, okay then.
Oh, I love this guy. Even when they're trailing, he works hard to put on a show.
Hey, that might be just what they need right now. And from the sideline, let's catch up with Allie.
Thank you, guys. Rudy Gobert talked about his objectives. He said, my goal is to be the best defender ever. And now my only focus is to win a championship and to keep impacting my team. Keep trying to make my team the top defense in the league. I think that's the best measure of an all-time defender. Brian, back to you.
He can lock it down. Okay, thanks for the report, Allie. Ingles, he's checked in for Shannon. And just about a minute and a half has passed here in the 2nd quarter. Murray against Highland. Randall outside. There's the 3. Jokic grabs the board. Jokic just got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. Pass to Watson. Ooh, Gobert with a steal. Randall, the pass to Highland. Good ball movement here by Minnesota. And here's Randall. And stolen by Jokic. Outside Murray. Jokic the screen. Pulls it from the top of the key. Again, Denver scores.
The jumper looking so pure coming out of Murray's hands. It's fun watching him score the rock.
Highland against Murray. The shot. Offensive board. Ingles from outside. Not going to go that time.
Yeah, no, he usually makes you pay from that range.
Takes a step back. The open shot. Jokic. Rebounded by the Timberwolves.
That's the shot they wanted. It just didn't fall.
I think expect them to go back to it because that's the kind of shot this offense is designed to generate.
Pass to Gobert. Outside, Highland. 5 on the clock. From deep three-point land. Rebounded by Denver. Jokic has got 9 rebounds in the game. Boy, he's getting it done. And after some uncertainty, the Timberwolves moving forward under new governorship doors.
Boy, B.A., that sale process was long and obviously at times quite contentious. I believe the organization has to be thrilled that that is finally in the past because what you want to do is focus on trying to continue the Wolves' recent run of success. There's a lot to be excited about with this young group.
Defense dodged a bullet that time. Total breakdown.
Pass to Gordon. Back to Jokic. Outside Watson. Launches it. And again, it's Denver missing.
And I'm surprised that didn't go down. I mean, I'm sure he is too.
Outside Highland. Here's Dosunmu. Now Randall. Defended by Gordon. Randall against Gordon. Randall, the pass to Dosunmu. They get back on track. Jokic grabs the board. Jokic has got 11 rebounds in the game. Out to Gordon. Out to the right wing. This one for 3. And Nikola Jokic with the 3. Jokic has got 8 here in this quarter.
He's been a steady presence for them. Nice to have that kind of safety net at the offensive end.
And Chris Finch wants a timeout. He's going to talk it over with his guys. And the Timberwolves will go for a different look here. Nas Reed's checked in for Julius Randle. McDaniels comes in for Ingles. Edwards, he's checked in for Dosunmu. And it's Dante DiVincenzo in for Highland. Picked by Gobert. And here's Edwards outside. It's hauled in by Nikola Jokic.
They really have a commanding lead, not just in points, but in rebounds as well.
Pass to Murray. Jokic the screen. From deep three-point range. The rebound by the Timberwolves. Now here's DiVincenzo. Edwards for 3. Kept alive by Minnesota. Here's Gobert. Puts up a 3. And there's McDaniels. That one's good on the assist by Gobert. McDaniels got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Murray passes to Jokic. Outside Brown. Back to Jokic. And out of bounds. Minnesota will have it.
Boy, an unfortunate mix-up right there. Cost them a possession.
We've got 22 seconds left in the first half. Pass to Gobert. And Gobert with the stuff.
This guy always amongst the league leaders in dunks. Gobert is a force around the cup.
Jokic passes to Gordon. Back to Jokic. Murray finds Jokic. Over McDaniels. Here's Watson. So as we conclude the first half, a fairly one-sided game. It's Denver leading by 17. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow on 2K Sports.
Hey folks, first off, let's take a look at the overall NBA schedule on tap for tonight. Over at Little Caesars Arena, the Pistons will face off against the Cavaliers. That one starting at 7 p.m. Eastern.
And this
All right, fellas, time to discuss what we've seen so far from Nikola Jokic. What a first half he's put in.
Man, I'm trying to think back on all these players I've seen, and
And that is going to do it for us. Let's get back to some second half action with Brian Anderson and company.
And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. It's been a clinic out there by Nikola Jokic.
And just halfway through this contest, he's already registered a double-double.
That takes a level of aggression and a level of focus, and he has brought it all night thus far.
Well, few descriptions more glowing than saying a player is clutch. What, in your opinion, Grant, enables a player to be that way?
You know, BA, it's about confidence and command. When you're able to process and execute under the pressure, both internal and external, that's when you have a chance to be clutch.
On the court for Denver, Gordon and Jokic, the inside combo. In the backcourt, it'll be Murray and Brown, and it's Watson in at the 3. The Nuggets lead by 19. And it's Jokic off the drive, and Jokic throws it down.
And this is what makes Jokic an MVP caliber talent, his ability to dominate the defense.
Back to Edwards. And that one drops for him. Edwards has got 5 points.
Probably a play they drew up in the locker room at half.
Well, there is nothing better than catching a rhythm as early as possible, and boy, that's a terrific start right there.
3 straight buckets to start the half. This is how they wanted to come out and execute.
It's Edwards on the wing, guarded by Brown. Just 5 on the clock. The fadeaway, and he can't bank that one in.
Boy, he's trying to give this team a spark, but the buckets simply will not go down.
Pure from three-point range.
Oh, man, I mean, the passing from Jokic is off the charts. Gave his man just a great look.
Time called here. The Timberwolves decide to talk it over. And let's use this break to recognize your Western Conference Player of the Week, Nikola Jokic.
He's a great example of what a modern big looks like. He's so much more than just a big in the paint, and that versatility is a big part of what makes him such an outstanding player.
Reed against Jokic. Here is DiVincenzo. Hasn't gotten one to fall yet. All right, let's get a report from Allie.
Hey, Commissioner Adam Silver talked about tweaking the game. He said analytics takes sports in a certain direction because it's a coach and GM's job to win, and they'll do everything they can to do so under the existing rules. It's on us to adjust because we're also looking at the aesthetic appeal of the game. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much for the report, Allie.
Jaden McDaniels is a guy who will embrace physicality, does a nice job drawing contact.
And both free throws good for McDaniels. So it's Denver now. Here are the Nuggets with the ball. They're on a 12-4 run. Jokic, good. Jokic has got 9 points now in the second half.
It's been a perfect start coming out of the half. I mean, you have to really love the execution.
Reed, a screen on Murray. DiVincenzo, a pass to McDaniels. Edwards against Brown. 6 on the shot clock. From deep. Edwards, no good.
Struggling to get into their groove here, just 1 for 4.
Out to Gordon. There's the triple. The shot is good on the assist by Jokic. Gordon's got 5 now.
And the defense is really allowing them too much room on the perimeter.
DiVincenzo on the wing. Outside Edwards. Lets the 3 fly. Buries it from 3. Give him 8 points now.
Boy, that's his second 3. First of this half, though.
Doris, what's amazing about Ant-Man, he's worked to become an elite floor spacer.
The reason that's important, BA, is because we know what a dangerous driver and what a force at the rim Anthony Edwards can be. What I love is he's worked to become a legit threat, and he leaned heavily into that three-point game. So important in the modern NBA.
Again, the miss by Edwards.
They've shown that power inside. Their rebounding effort has been sensational.
On the wing, Brown. And another three for Denver.
As the deep shots continue to fall, you can sense the frustration growing among these defenders.
Outside Edwards. Here's Randall. Nikola Jokic grabs the miss. Jokic has got rebound number 17, if you can believe that. Oh!
There is a little speed from Jokic on that drive. I mean, you don't expect him to put it on the floor and just go.
Oh, and there's the whistle on the shot. So 2 free throws for him coming up.
Everyone in the building saw the obvious contact.
All right, guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for the Nuggets?
I mean, they've played some beautiful basketball all game. The passing has been impressive, and it's opened up things with their ball movement.
Boy, the long ball has been another point of emphasis for this group tonight. Their shooters are finding open spaces and firing without hesitation.
Here's what Minnesota's going with right now. Rudy Gobert's checked in for Randall. DeSumo comes in for McDaniels. And it's Highland in for DiVincenzo. Jokic finds Murray. Reed against Jokic. Gordon down low. Here's the three. Jokic, no good. The Timberwolves have gotten only 2 of 7 shots to go in the third quarter. Ooh, and once again, off the mark by Minnesota. Denver has gotten 12 of their points this quarter from deep, 4 of 6. Brown with it. He's picked up by Edwards. From deep, Jokic sinks it from distance. Jokic has got 34 points. Minnesota has gone 1 of 2 shooting from the perimeter since halftime. Now here's Edwards, defended by Watson. Edwards can't hit.
Boy, not his best quarter. He's trying to break through.
And the dunk by Jokic.
His arrow's been trending up as of late, and he's been magnificent tonight.
The swim move for 3, and he can't get that one. And so it's Denver, ahead by a mile with a 38-point lead at the end of the period. It hasn't taken them too many shots to get their points. They're winning with efficiency. All right, stick around. We'll be right back after this. And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same for the first 3 quarters. And Minnesota with possession here. Randall and Gobert are in the middle. Ayo DeSumo out there with Bones Highland. And it's Anderson in at the 3. So that's the Timberwolves 5. Pass to Randall. Back to DeSumo. Just 4 to shoot. Here's Highland. Drops in the 3. Highland's gotten himself going with a triple, his first basket of the game.
Wow, Bones Highland cashing in from range. You'd love to see that.
They are unconscious from outside, and so far, the defense has had no answer.
Well, that's the whole point, isn't it? If you space the floor well enough, it's almost impossible for the defense to account for everyone.
For 3, Randall. Nikola Jokic grabs the miss.
Boy, normally he makes that. Defense gets lucky there.
Outside Murray. Just over a minute played here in the fourth. Back to Jokic. Over Highland. Again, Denver scores.
Boy, his offensive game has changed the tenor of this basketball game.
Outside Highland. And Doris, you think about the top scorers in this league. They're creating those points with greater efficiency than in decades past.
Analytics is increasingly a part of the NBA. Teams are now understanding that 3 is more than 2, and if you don't make enough of them, you have a math problem. And then the other highly valued shots in the game, and maybe the most valued shots, are restricted area twos. Listen, let's be smart about the game.
Now Gobert. Outside, Anderson. Pass to Highland. The three. Jokic grabs the board.
Hey, the struggle is real. He hasn't found much success with his offense today.
On the wing, Brown. Jokic the screen. Brown passes to Jokic. To the paint. And Gordon with the big finish.
You love seeing Aaron Gordon in the pick and roll. This guy is adept at setting screens and then getting into open space.
Deflects the pass. Pass to Highland. Back to Gobert. Rejected by Jokic. Watson passes to Murray. From deep, Jokic. It's rebounded by Minnesota.
And you never want to give a shooter like him a clean look.
Highland finds Randall. Rejected by Jokic.
Nice timing there from Jokic to read the play and get the denial at the cup.
Something the league has worked towards, seeing small market teams competing at a high level, Grant.
Yeah, this league isn't just for the big cities. Smart drafting and team development can make any organization elite. And of course, that's the beauty of it all.
Here's Randall. So it'll be 2 free throws. He was fouled in the act of shooting.
Julius Randle has been a consistent producer in this league for a long time. This guy, an absolute matchup nightmare.
And the first one at the line is good. And Minnesota will go for a different look here. Reed's checked in for Rudy Gobert. Jaden McDaniels comes in for Anderson. Edwards, he's checked in for DeSumo. And it's Dante DiVincenzo in for Highland. Outside Murray. Jokic the screen. Three-pointer. Yes, and it's Murray picking up the assist. Murray's got 6 assists in the game.
Zero hesitation from Jokic. Just so confident in his skills.
Jokic on the double team. It's McDaniels on the wing. Good ball movement here by Minnesota. That one goes. Count it.
I'll tell you, delivering the basketball in tight spots is not easy, but he made it look that way.
The Nuggets have gotten 5 of their 7 shots to fall in this final quarter. And it's Jokic off the drive. And that one's good. 49 points for Nikola Jokic.
Helps his team in so many ways. Jokic is more than just a leader.
Randall outside. Outside Edwards. DiVincenzo with a screen on Brown. Here's Edwards. Watson with a rebound.
Boy, this is the story of the night for this guy. He's taken a lot of questionable shots.
It's safe to say they have dominated this game. The game wasn't even as close as the score says in a great win for the Nuggets.
And the disparity in the talent was obvious by the end. Sometimes you just don't have enough ammunition to compete.
Yeah, B.A., just a total beatdown. And the next time these teams meet, I can't imagine it'll be any different.
And they'll chalk this up as their 3rd win of the year.
It's just the start of this season series with 3 games left between them, but it must feel great to take the first meeting.
And of all the highlights and performances we've seen here tonight, the one thing that stands out is what an unbelievable night it's been for Nikola Jokic.
Boy, you felt his impact all over the game tonight. A triple-double, outstanding.
Reed, and he converts the layup.
Well, they needed this run way earlier. At some point, it's too little, too late.
Yeah, but then again, this run came against a team that may have felt it had already won, and you get the sense it let its guard down.
Gordon on the wing, outside Brown. Jokic with a screen on Edwards. Offensive rebound, controls the rebound and the putback. Jokic has got 53 points.
And they knew it wasn't going to be easy to win on the road, but they've controlled the pace on this one.
And sometimes when everyone's rooting against you, it seems to bring the unit closer together. It certainly did tonight.
Soft interior D, and they've exploited it.
Pulls it from 20. That one's good.
And just totally relentless, only increasing the intensity level.
One thing I enjoy is watching players who don't pay attention to the score. You lock in on the moment and play the right way.
Allie, thank you as always. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Allie LaForce, Grant Hill, and Doris Burke, this is Brian Anderson. Thank you for watching tonight's game. We'll see you later.